Back again.
You know what we forgot to do last episode?
Was
to say, I'm Christine.
Oh, I'm Jamie.
We forgot that part.
It's okay. Now you know. Still here.
Well, who knows? Maybe someone is starting on Guild and they're like,
That's true.
Are these ladies?
Yeah, with voices like angels.
I don't know that anyone has ever described my voice that way.
You don't know that.
Yeah, they were probably thinking it in their head for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. We're back.
Mm-hmm.
We are back with Books and Booze to talk about the next book in the Play to Prisoner series and also give you a cocktail that matches, because that's what we do here.
Yep. By Raven Kennedy.
By Raven Kennedy. Every time I go to say the book name, I have to double check myself, because I do get mixed up with Guild and Glint.
Yes, it's tough.
I don't get the books mixed up. I just the titles because they're so similar. Yeah.
Yep.
But we're doing Glint.
We're doing Glint. Book
Glint.
number 2.
Book 2. I also am a little bit of in a Gleam mindset because I'm currently on Gleam.
Yes, I just also made it like halfway through Gleam,
Yep.
so I'm like, oh.
I'm at the same point, so
Yeah.
it's like I'm into that stuff, and I have to bring myself back to Glint, to the Fourth Army.
Yes.
And Oren's whole experience with that. So we're bringing it back to there in my mind, and hopefully you're there with us.
Which I did really enjoy her army experience.
You know what I love? Because we've talked about like how in each book Raven Kennedy expands the world.
Yes.
The first book is like High Bell and traveling. The second book is purely just her being with the Fourth Army.
Yeah.
And then the next book is somewhere else. The next book is somewhere else. The next book is somewhere else. It's like we continue to see Oren in these different
I never really
places with new people. And so
Yeah.
I actually loved coming back to the Fourth Army and her experience there.
Yeah, it made it sound like very enjoyable, though I'm sure it's not. But I was like,
Well,
I'll go hang out in a tent with Rip.
It's probably stinky for sure.
Wouldn't even care.
Yeah, I mean, if he's stinky, I'll still take him.
Yep, that's right.
So before we get into this book, let's do one of our intros, because there is a topic about books that I need to talk about.
Yes, so you just go off. I'm just going to have a sip of this because I'm interested to hear about it.
So, I don't know how you all feel with DNFing, which is, now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever clarified the meaning, but I assume it's did not finish.
Yeah.
So, I've had 2 in a row, which maybe to some people is just on the regular, but...
I don't DNF books.
Okay.
I've never done it.
Never done it?
There's been books where I've done it, but then I've come back and finished it, years later.
Oh, years later.
Well, that was only one. That was the one that you really liked.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
That's probably the only time I've ever done that, but it's really hard for me to give,
You try and be hopeful.
Yep. I'm no, I'm just going to finish it. It bugs me not to finish it.
Same, yeah. So when I think about it, this was I just recently had 2, but if I combine it together, 4 in total in my life.
Okay.
So I had previously done it with 2.
Yes.
So I just had 2 recently, and it really is like a stick in the gears.
Yeah, you went off on Goodreads.
And all of my followers saw that. And if you don't know, Jamie's my only follower. So as I'm going off on Goodreads, I know that she's the only one that can see it. Or I guess I give a review so it's possible
People
that someone else
it.
could see it. But I know that you're literally the only one that can see it. But yeah, I was a little pissed off. I get upset when there's popular books that lots of people like, and then I read it and I'm like, this is hot garbage.
I was very disappointed because I did really want to read that book.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, now do I not do it? It's just... That I feel was one of my top ones I wanted to read.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was disappointing. It was the second book in the series too, right?
Well, I wouldn't. I told you I was not recommending the first one.
Yeah.
I was doing that like hopeful thing where I'm like, well, maybe it'll get better.
The second one, it'll...
Or maybe the little parts that I did like, maybe that will... I don't know. And I was wrong. I was so wrong. But I did get some validation from, like, other people on Goodreads and TikTok, because I think a lot of people also were not happy with it.
Yeah, I looked into it after and also saw that there was
Okay.
a lot of people that felt that way.
So that definitely made me feel better. But then I tried another one after that. I tried it on audio, and it wasn't a romantasy, it was just a fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really long one. Like when you were an audiobook person, like you get to know like how long the books are, and it was almost 20 hours. Like this was a big book.
Yeah.
And I got to almost 7 hours. And it was like 35%, and I was like, okay, I'm 7 hours in and I still don't care. I need to give up because I cannot dedicate my life to like something I don't. This is silly. Reading is supposed to be fun, and if I don't like this is okay. Like I was trying to give myself like a lot of affirmations, like it's okay, you're okay, you can do it, and everything will be okay. You don't need to know the ending because that will require 15 more hours of your life.
You could just skip and read the ending.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just if it's like something you need to do but can't read the whole thing.
I didn't even want to know the ending to that one, to be honest.
Okay, I'm curious what one that was.
Foundryland? It's not like
I feel that sounds familiar. Is it a fun book cover, kind of?
It's a really nice book cover.
Okay, yeah, I think I have that on my list.
Anyway, now, which I haven't told you this part, I started a new one for an audiobook, and it's a really popular book series. And so it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I DNF twice in a row. I DNF twice in a row. I need a shoe-in.
Yeah.
I need something that is a guarantee I'm going to enjoy this. And so I'm like, I'm going to pick one of the, ones off my TBR that I wanted to wait to do a physical copy. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to do it on audio because I need a pick-me-up. I'm like almost halfway and I don't like it.
No.
I know.
Oh my God.
Now, I will, because of my pride, I will finish it. And Jamie's laughing because she knows what book it is.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Oh, okay, I'm just going to say what it is. It's The Cruel Prince.
Oh, yes, I do know that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was so excited for that book.
And now I did what I did. Like I don't know if anyone else does this, but I went on Goodreads and I'm like, I need some validation. And there was lots of other people who were like, yeah, I don't get it. And so I was like, okay, that feels better. I feel like I'm gonna like that one. That feels better. And then I also saw other people who were like, yeah, the first one's a little bit slow, and you could, as time goes on, you might like it better. So I'm like, okay, there's parts of it that bug me, and I'm not like addicted or 100%, but I'm going to finish it at least. And then when I finish it, I'm gonna figure it out. But guys, I'm upset. I'm upset. And I always question when this happens, like, is it me or is it the book? And usually it's the book. But I'll give you an update if the tides turn and I'm into it, but it's not looking up.
Oh,
it's not looking up. We'll see.
I'm really curious about that one.
Yeah,
because I do really want to read it. Out of all the ones,
I'm sorry that I've ruined books for you, because I feel like there was one before that I ended up finishing that I should have DNF'd, with a really nice cover that you already bought but didn't read, and then I told you about it. I was
like, this is going to be so good. I've only seen great things about it. I'm still going to read that one.
And I told you, I was like, oh, this book is so bad, and then you're like, oh, I bought it.
Yeah, at least the cover's pretty.
I know. I'm so sorry, but no, you should like, maybe you will like it. Like, who knows?
I'm still gonna read that one.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my angry rant, and I'm still looking for the book that's going to up my spirits. Luckily, this is all talking about audiobooks because I'm currently reading the Play to Prisoner series, the physical copies. Yes. So.
That's you have Played a Prisoner.
That's keeping my spirits up. That's what I mean. Like,
where I'm like, I can't put it down still, even though it's the second time reading it.
I'm mad, but I have that.
Yeah.
I have my Orin. I have my Orin, and I have my Rip, and I'm okay.
Yep.
I'm okay. Right. It'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, rant officially over.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you about my drink?
Yes.
Okay.
What is your cocktail today?
I realized today when I was prepping to like bring this stuff over that I actually didn't have a name for it. I think I had labeled it the Fourth Army.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were calling it.
I think that was just like, this is what's happening. It wasn't like the official title, but what do you think? Should I stick with that?
I like it because you know what, actually, when you were doing it and then when I was kind of setting up for it, it reminded me of one of the scenes where she goes in with Rip and Osric.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like kind of like slowly giving her food, and I think they like had some wine and she doesn't end up getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just how you actually had to make it, and like you had to get a ladle out to put it in, it really just reminded me of that part. Or like keg with the...
Yeah.
So I like the army name.
Okay, that's good.
I feel like it's a very just...
Yeah.
Or you could call it something with keg, but he's food.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, fuck Keg. Oh, sorry, love you, Keg.
Yeah.
No, I like him. I'm just kidding. But he's not the drink guy.
That's true.
But we did have to use a ladle for this drink because it is a hot drink.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my thought process. I wanted to do wine because Lou and Judd steal the wine from each other. I assumed it was a red, just in my head. So I was like, okay, I want to do something with a red. And then I couldn't figure out what kind of cocktail would still fit with the Fourth Army. But then I finally, at the last minute, was like, oh, a mulled wine, a hot wine, because we're in the cold parts.
So you want a hot wine.
The cold parts of Oria. We want something
Oria
hot.
or Orea?
Oh no.
We're going to have so many.
Oh no.
We need to call Raven Kennedy.
I know.
Just like, hey.
Oria.
Tell me I'm right. Orea. Orea sounds so much nicer. I would name my child that.
It does, but I still think it's Oria.
Okay.
Watch, I'm going to be wrong. So it's a red wine, and I heated that with some spices. So we have star anise and cardamom pods and cinnamon sticks, and I forgot the cloves. I'm so sorry. So don't forget the cloves. And honey and apple cider. And then at the end, we added some brandy.
And you also had some orange.
Oh, yeah, some orange zest. And then I squeezed all the orange juice out of the orange to put in there.
Did you turn the oven off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Not oven. Wait, stove? Stove.
Stove.
Okay.
Well, and that's what it is. And honestly, we were talking and we're like, this is going to be really good or really bad. We honestly don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. So
also the smell of it a little bit reminded me of when I did the blood oranges when you were like making it.
Because those are the same spices that you did with those.
Yeah,
right?
and it was giving me a bit of flashbacks. So hoping this is much better than that drink.
Okay.
Was.
It's still hot, so let's try it.
Okay.
Cheers. Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
It's very comforting. Like this would be nice around a fire.
Yes, not in the summer heat.
Oh yeah, one of the hilarious things of this is that it is a hot day, and I decided to make hot wine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's get the stove going, the
Sorry.
heat going.
I didn't keep this for our Christmas episodes.
Oh.
I like it.
I like it better than the first apple cider you did, and I like it better than my orange one. I'm not a apple cider person.
No, me neither. It has to be like with something else.
Yeah.
But I think...
But like it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's not like a cocktail.
Mm-mm.
Obviously it is a cocktail. It's just like, I don't know. It's like warm and comforting. And I'm not a big hot chocolate person.
Oh, I love a hot
But
chocolate.
I like the experience of having like a hot chocolate, like when you're cold and having hot drinks. So I actually think I would make this again if I wanted to do something different.
Yeah. Like fall or winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy that it wasn't a dud.
Yeah.
Because I was scared.
It doesn't taste like feet, so that's nice.
It doesn't.
No.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's because Jamie's blood orange spice drink did. It didn't taste like feet. It smelled like feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, big difference. Okay, what's your rating?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
I do enjoy it. I think it's good. I'm not a huge fan, but I think it also would be very nice to have a cool, crisp day. But no, it's good.
Okay.
I like it, but I'm not like
ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Oh,
I really like it.
Okay.
Okay, let's get into Glint.
Okay. For 10 years, I've lived in a gilded cage inside King Midas's gold castle, but one night changed everything. Now I'm here, a prisoner of Fourth Kingdom's army, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make it out of this one in one piece. They're marching to battle, and I'm the bargaining chip that will either douse the fire or spark a war. At the heart of my fear, my worry, there's him, Commander Rip. Do you like how I said that? Known for his brutality on the battlefield, his viciousness is unsurpassed, but I know the truth about what he is. Fae. The betrayers, the murderers, the ones who nearly destroyed Aurea, wiping out Seventh Kingdom in the process. Rip has power sizzling between the skin and glinting spikes down his spine. But his eyes are the most compelling of all. When he turns those black eyes on me, I feel captive for an entirely different reason. I may be out of my cage, but I'm not free, not even close. In the game of kings and armies, I am the gilded pawn. The question is, can I outmaneuver them? Da, da, da.
Yes, you can, Oren.
I believe in you.
You can do it.
I really like that description. Good job, whoever does that stuff.
So, the intro to this book, I think was, I was going to say purposeful. Obviously, Raven did it purposefully, but also important. And then it starts with Melina.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about her fighting back because she's been, and now that I think of it, we didn't talk about her in the first episode.
No, we didn't.
But also, I don't know that I have a ton to say. I will have more and more to say as time goes on, so I think I'm okay with that.
I think the first one, it was just more of really like an intro and kind of seeing a little bit about the relationship between her and Midas and her and Oren, and
yeah,
just getting a little taste of her.
And like her and Oren don't get along, but we did miss that scene where she attacks Oren.
Yes, that's true.
And Oren like still has empathy for her, which is like
right. She's like, well, I get it.
Yeah, I get why she's mad at me.
Yeah. And it was all, is it this one? Yeah, it is. In this book, we also find out that she was the one who tipped off the Red Raid to let them know, because she wanted to get rid of Oren.
But we get this intro chapter where she says, I'm done being the silent, cold queen frozen in place. So she feels
I love that for so many reasons.
Yeah, she feels really controlled and repressed by Midas too. And so she's starting to like fight back and be like, no, you know what, this was my family's castle.
Yeah.
We were the people, and just because I don't have power,
it's all yours, and you came in and changed everything.
And you changed the whole place to look to how you are, right? And now it's all gold and like everything. There's no piece of her left there, which if you think about it, like, I don't know, if she's your wife, wouldn't you like have her input or like want her to have pieces of her family still present in the castle rather than...
I think at the beginning he really had her, like, he seems to obviously be really good at manipulating people.
He's charming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though Melina, like, isn't likable, like, she's an asshole, obviously, I was happy about this.
Well,
right?
It's just nice to be like, yeah, you don't need to, because I even think it was the last one she said, like, I'm sick of going up to, like, knit, or not knit, I don't know, whatever they do.
No, that was in this one. At the very beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like, I'm, just sick of that. And I'm like, yeah, good for you. Like, you don't want to just sit up there and be pretty, then, especially when someone's taken so much from you and has all these women parading around that he's sleeping with, and they're gonna be like, you know what, I'm sick of this.
It makes sense. Right?
So yeah, good for you. Not a huge fan at this point, but
we do get the storyline too of her meeting, I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, Loth Pruin.
Yes, right.
Who is sort of mysterious, like we don't have a lot of information.
Character.
But even the intrigue of the Seventh Kingdom, so at the end of Guild, we get Midas's explanation of the kingdoms just from his perspective.
Yeah.
And then we also get some sort of explanation We also get some sort of explanation about why the Seventh Kingdom doesn't exist, which has to do with like the Fae and the Oria's war. But then this guy comes in and he's like, "Oh, your greatest desire will be you have to go to the Seventh Kingdom for this."
You idiot.
So even though Melina's storyline is like, yeah, good for her, and it's like not the most interesting right now, like that was intriguing.
Yes. And I was also like, you got yourself your own saddle. Good for you.
Oh.
I loved that part.
Yeah.
And then, because like Midas was the only person she'd been with.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was nice just for her. I'm like, you know what? Good for you.
She got herself a Geo.
Yeah, that's right. And he's pleasing you, and it's about you.
Yes.
Yeah. And he seems really cute, and that he actually really likes her, so.
Yeah, I like him.
Me too.
One of the subjects that I wanted to do up front was the Rip and the Aura tension.
Okay.
Okay, readjust yourself.
Yeah. I have some of my mulled wine.
The first part of that I wrote down was just noting how she's like, he's so obviously Fae. How is no one else seeing this? Are you guys, like, hello?
Am I the only one? Yeah.
How is everyone believing that he's this, got his, obviously, like, half powers by being Fae, because there's lots of people in Oria that have powers because of that, but, and then, obviously, the King Ravager stuff, but how are people believing that? She's, like, really confused, because to her, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, because she's also in the same place, right? Like, she's Fae, which we learn in this book.
Yes, we do learn that in this book. I was like,
we learn this in this book, right? And
that's one of my favorite parts.
But she's doing things to cover that up.
Yes.
So, like, they're both kind of in the same...
Like, it's the same thing. Like, people aren't, to you, like, oh, it's so obvious you're Fae. Like, you've been hiding it the entire time also. And
so he's hiding behind King Ravager. She's hiding behind Midas's gold touch.
Yes.
Right? So anyway, back to the tension. One of the quotes that I like is she says, "The moment Commander Rip stepped onto the pirate ship and into my life, my world tilted on its axis. Every time we interact, that axis dips just a little bit more," which I think describes like their whole trajectory.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like, we keep dipping. She's like, no, what's happening?
Yeah, no, stop.
I like him. I don't want to like him.
Yeah. Stop this from happening. Oh, yes, I do like that. The tent quote. I feel like Raven also posted that.
Do you want to do that quote?
Yes.
Do you want to be Rip or Oren?
I'll be Rip.
This is your tent?
Of course it's my tent.
Why? Why did you put me in your tent?
I'd rather keep an eye on you.
She
does not giggle.
She doesn't do that. That was me giggling. Because now they have to share a tent.
Oh my god. But I love how he's like, yeah, like, I'm keeping an eye on you. You're from the enemy. And, like, she's very just...
Yeah, she's like, I have to stay away from you. And he's like, no, I have to be afraid of you.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
But I love how she's like, oh, look at my lovely tent. I have all these, like, just
like,
not
this is
putting
really
it together.
nice.
Yeah. I'll be a prisoner any day.
So the fight scene is weird because I think, like, he actually fought Orin. like he's trying to coax her, but, like, he did get aggressive with her.
Yeah, I know.
He did get physical.
Yeah.
But, more importantly, he took his shirt off. And I only put down, like, some of the quotes, but, like, I think Oren goes on for a couple pages just talking about the experience of visualizing his body in front of her.
Yes.
But she says, time freezes, like suspended sand in an hourglass. Grains paused in their plummet. I shiver from the intimidation of seeing him like this because he's intimidating. But he's also beautiful. Rip has otherworldly allure and unmistakable magnetism. I suddenly understand the insects that fly willingly into carnivorous plants. The draw is too strong, the pull too bewitching, that you forget about the danger until you're already trapped inside.
Is that how you feel about Eddie?
When he takes his... Yeah. Like, that is... I mean...
I'm jealous, really. I want to be Fae and
that is something
find
else.
Another Fae and then feel that strongly.
Yeah, I think of, like, when you turn on a light and the moths all, like...
Yeah.
Like, that was Oren to Rip's
Just
torso.
his shirt off. Yeah.
That's her to his torso. and yeah, I felt the same way. Way.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole scene I really liked. I liked how it started, even though this doesn't have to do with them, but how she's defending Twig.
Yeah.
How she really originally gets into the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It just reminds me of that, like, her jumping out to give the kids money. Like, she doesn't really think and just, no, I'm going to go defend this child.
I feel like I related to it because I was like, I feel like that I would do that.
What are you guys doing? He's a child.
Put my foot in my mouth, or get in that situation where it's like, what are you? Like, oh, I misread this. Oh. I felt like that was really relatable.
Now I gotta fight you.
Yeah. Now I guess I gotta fight this large man.
Yeah, but yeah, how she got into it, and then even everyone leaving, she mentions his name, like Rip. And she's like, yeah, because you rip people's heads off.
And then they all thought it was so funny.
Yeah. And he's like, who started that rumor? And I think Judd's like, oh, me.
I did.
Yeah. You know, we get more into, like, the friendship and stuff, but I really liked that part. And then, yeah, like, as he's just, like, pushing her to, like, defend herself. And, like, it's a little bit scary. I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, you're being a bit. But I'm also like, Kate, like, he knows she's Faye. Mm-hmm. And that she has these, like, ribbons that she's capable of using and not, like, realizing her capability. And I also think from someone who has an army with women in it, like, it's such a different, I feel like that could be, like, a whole other, I could have a half-an-hour conversation about it.
Well, he doesn't underestimate her. He's not like, I'm not above fighting you.
Yeah, like, you're completely capable of fighting back and fighting me.
Yeah.
And, yeah, him just, like, pushing, and then there's just the part where he's like, fucking say it. And she yells, like, I'm Faye. And I was like, what? And I remember reading that part, I was like, I don't know why I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like, oh, it's kind of obvious, but
I think even just the outburst out loud is just like a very emotionally charged scene.
Yes, and her just finally admitting
because it's so hidden for her.
And then her ribbons come out, and she ribbons.
Those ribbons, I love them.
I know, but yeah, really, this is probably just like one of my favorite scenes. And I do have down that he says, I don't know, I think it's like right after that, but he says, sometimes, he murmurs, things need first to be ruined in order to then to be remade. And I just really like that quote.
It's true, though.
Yeah.
I feel like I say that to, like, I feel like I've said that to people a lot in this, like, when people are real low, so like, this is, and you don't want it to be too, like, toxic positivity, where you're like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
But it is, I think, a really nice, like, positive sentiment where you're like, yeah, you're at your low, or you don't know where you're going, or you feel like your life has been ripped apart, but this is also an opportunity. It means there's only going up. There's, like, you know, there's so much that we can, like, there's possibility, right?
Yes. Yeah, I really like that quote a lot.
Yeah, okay, I couldn't, I didn't take the time to look back, but what does he call his group of people?
His wrath?
Okay, I was like, wraith? I was like, am I thinking of water wraith, or is that the right word? I was like, it's something like that.
Wrath.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I really liked how she built relationships with them, and just relationships with other people in the army in general. Yeah, I like those parts. And we saw it by closer to the end, where she's even asking them to help her to fight, like that show
where she's coming, and I think that also came out of I think a different part. There's a part that Lou says at some point, but she has a different relationship with each of them, and it's been nice, especially coming from the sales situation, to see her building these little separate ones when she's technically supposed to be a hostage.
Yeah, that's true. She's starting to have different experiences building friendships, although it's a little bit murky because it is with what she perceives as the enemy.
Yeah, like especially with like Osric at first.
Oh, I liked how by the end he was just like,
do you have
I don't know. He didn't say like super warm words, but I wrote down like he warmed up by the end for sure.
Oh, yeah, where she's like, can you still, something about him not being able to look at her anymore, and I can't remember what he says, but I liked that little relationship, because that was really her first interaction with any of them, mainly him. He just sounds like a big teddy bear.
Okay.
You do have my favorite line, though.
Yeah, so when Rip helps her down from the horse when she's about to be given over back to Midas.
Which is a big no-no.
Midas's guard says, "Commander, I must insist that you don't touch King Midas's favored."
I must insist that you shut the fuck up, Osric drawls. I loved that so much.
So funny.
Yeah. You guys are all idiots. And I do like he like kind of really points up to her about how you're really just like a symbol for Midas and his greed, and he's not saying it like in a malicious way. She's also like asking, but yeah, just kind of like pointing out that, which I think really happens like throughout it. They're pointing out little things or asking her questions, and her kind of realizing like, oh, all of these things again with like the cracks and like the seeping through. And
yeah, because they are asking genuine questions. It isn't just like trying to break her down, because there's questions that have truth in it, which makes her have to think about it. And
it's questions that nobody's asked her.
Yeah.
He like rip one, he's like, oh, well, do you like that? And right away she's like, well, what do you mean? Like getting defensive. It's a really simple question at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what do you think? What do you like?
Yeah.
So Keg was kind of like a side character.
Yeah, it was a fun little side character.
I liked their interactions. The only one that I noted is when he's like, they don't deserve your kindness.
Yes.
And enters the saddles, and she says kindness shouldn't be earned, it should be freely given.
I also highlighted that because I loved that.
Yeah.
But I did like their interaction, and that she was like coming from someone who's obviously had a poorer background, like with the food, how she would just like slam it back and everyone else is complaining, and he's like, yeah, see?
Yeah. She's like, I'll take it.
Yeah. Give me anything. I'll eat it.
And then Hojat.
The mender. Just seems like a sweet man.
With his stinky ointment. I know this isn't like it's a Hojat scene, but it's more about Orin. Is when her ribbons first come out and Rip sees them for this first time, is when she's like sleeping and sick, and Hojat touches her, and she pushes him back with her ribbons aggressively because she doesn't want to be touched.
Yeah. I also think I kind of noticed, and like I think it was that she's kind of like, oh, it's like finally happening. Really, like in the beginning, like, the constant fear, like waiting for a man to come like rape her essentially.
Oh.
And like the other, when she visits the saddles, they're the same thing. She's like, yeah, obviously they're gonna like,
obviously that's
it's
what's gonna happen.
Like they're so set that might like, yeah, that's just what happens. And we're with this army now. They're the terrible army. Where they're just like in constant like preparedness for something like that to happen. And I think it was that part or something, or when she's waiting for Rip to come to the tent, where she's like, okay, it's finally happening. Like just like working herself up, and does it a couple times. And then each time it doesn't happen. And he obviously does like reassure her when she makes comments, but it's so hard for her to believe, which is just...
But as she has more and more of those experiences where it doesn't happen, and she's able to like slowly be like, I'm okay.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, they're really not going to hurt me. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Lou?
Yes. Love Lou.
Does she call her Gildilocks or Gold? It's not Goldilocks. It's Gildilocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cute.
Right? That becomes her nickname, and I think maybe Keg says it to her at one point, and she's like, oh, great. Or people start calling her Gildy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Spreading around. Okay.
You have a lot for Lou.
Sorry. We don't have to say all of that. Okay, let's talk about, like, women serving in his army.
Yes.
So, Orin asks, has King Ravager always allowed women to serve in his army? Her head snaps over as she pins me with a glare, eyes flashing in the dark, lip curled back. Allowed? Like he's doing his women a favor?
No,
He's lucky to have women in his army. All the kingdoms in Oria would be smart to utilize their women, but they don't, which is why Fourth will always be superior.
Yes.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Right, I love that, and I think that when that interaction happened, also giving her a different view of
what's possible. Yeah, and what's possible.
Yeah, like, oh, we don't just have to be like saddles and wait on
servants
people, and I just really loved Lou. I loved their wine stealing moment together.
Yes. Yes.
And that her honesty, I feel like she was constantly really just honest with her.
Yeah. I think it's this thing of like, okay, even if someone has like different opinions or is on a different side, you're gonna get so much farther with them if you just treat them like they're intelligent and capable, rather than assuming someone is bad intentions and stupid. Like it's such a different approach.
Yeah. And I think especially just like a woman to woman thing to show her, and like what she says to her in this other part that I love. Do we want to read that part? I like
Sure.
that. Okay. So Lou says to Oren, "We're women in a man's world. I'm sure you know how that is."
I do.
"Good," she says with a terse nod. "Then you know that we have two options. The first is we can conform. Be what they want, act to please. It's a safe option.
And option 2?
Option 2 is harder. It's harder for us. There will always be someone who will try to make us choose option 1. But don't lie down to make it easier for the world to keep you under its thumb. Own your shit and choose yourself."
Yeah.
I love that. And then she says something afterwards also this about, I think, saying something, "I saw a warrior in that circle when Oren was fighting." And Oren, like in her mind, it's just very much like, I think I like that.
Yeah.
So I really like there, yeah, she's just saying like, yeah, you fucked up, whatever. Like, don't just go back and like revert to what you were doing before. And like that, I see that you're stronger than you think you are. Yay, Lou.
Love Lou.
Yeah. Big fan.
Love her. Love her. I will marry her. And have her babies. And be her nanny and her maid.
Ooh.
And her
Ooh,
masseuse.
Oh, that would be a good one. Hairdresser.
Hairdresser. And her cook. And her...
I'll sharpen her knives.
shoe shiner.
Ooh. Okay.
So we do get a tidbit... Not a tidbit, but like a few different stories which go back to their past. Just explaining more about Midas and Oren's relationship, and not explaining, but it's showing the interactions between them and what they were doing before they came to Highbell, and it gives us a lot of context in terms of why she might be trusting him. So at one point, she says, "Now that I'm getting touches that aren't meant to hurt, I can't get enough." Because before that, between ages 5 to 13 or 15, I think, where she was on the streets and she was begging and she was alone.
Yes.
So then she meets Midas and she has this man that's being loving towards her. But we get to understand why she is in that mindset of, I can't trust other people.
Yeah.
Because she has had really awful experiences with other people. So then Midas's approach to her it contrasts it so much that it's like, okay, he knows best.
Yeah.
And
I feel like they also have that like experience when they're out, and she's like, "Why can't we like hang out with them?" He's like, "No, like you're only safe with me." She goes out, she ends up getting attacked, and then that just reiterates to her what he says. No, like, I'm the only person you can trust. You're only safe with me. So it starts to make way more and more sense why she felt that way and stayed that way for so long.
Right. And her decision led to that. So it's like, okay, I can't trust myself now, so now I have to lean on him. She, throughout this book too, is just questioning everything. So she's questioning more the cage. She's questioning Midas. She is obviously like on the fence about Rip and all of them. She just like doesn't know who
just a constant,
to trust.
Yeah. And I know even at the beginning, she's just like, I was safe inside my cage. Like, this is my fault. Like, these people died. Why did I even leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a lot of confusion and blame on herself.
Yeah, like in the earlier chapters, we get Oren saying, "My king loves me," and then he says, "Indeed, loves you so much he keeps you in a cage," which then she repeats in her head over and over throughout the book, too, because she remembers that, and it's like stuck in her head, like, oh, maybe that's not what I thought it was.
Yeah, like, oh, that's not an awful point.
She says, "I kept taking it, convincing myself that this was the way it needed to be, lying to myself because I loved him, because he manipulated me. I've been bending over backwards for so long, I forgot even I had a spine." Do we want to add anything to her? Oh, can we just do the back and forth of the big speech? Because I think this is a a huge speech that Rip gives after she finds out Miss Pregnancy.
Yes, okay.
Do you want to be Rip or do you want to be Oren? I'll be Rip this time.
Oh. Okay, just really wanted to jump at that role, eh?
Well, I thought about it, and then I decided that's what I wanted to do.
I don't even feel like you thought about it. You asked
No,
the question.
I thought about it while I was typing it, and then I was like, oh yeah, no.
Okay.
So Rip says, your anger is misplaced, but I like it. Every time you let it leak out just a little more, I can see you better, Goldfinch.
You see nothing.
Oh, I do. I can't wait to see the rest of you. When you let it go, when you finally let that out, your fury is going to light up the spirit you're shadowed. I hope you burn so bright that you scorch your Golden King down to ash.
Get out.
You want to know what I think?
No.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
Goody.
You may not be behind bars anymore, but you're still in that cage, and I think part of you wants to stay in there because you're afraid. But I think another part of you, the part you repress, is ready to be free.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? To ruin me?
Not ruin. You forget. I know what you are. You're so much more than what you let yourself to be.
I'm not going to change sides. I'm always going to choose him.
Oh, Goldfinch. For your sake, I hope that's not true.
He has so many great little speeches and lines. Like every time he just talks about her like flying, or like you're gonna burst out, like you're just gonna be amazing.
Keep going, girl.
Yeah, I got you. I know you can do it. Rip, stop.
You're special.
You know, tell me I'm special. This is like another little Rip part. Who doesn't want to talk more about him? They have like the morning moon, and it's a fae thing, and they kind of run into each other. And she does admit to him that like, you saved me from myself. This is before she's going back to Midas, and she does admit to him that she's from Anwin. I just really enjoyed that scene, and this is kind of around like when they're after that having the argument because he asked her to stay.
Yeah.
And she kind of lets him in a little bit more like what her childhood was like growing up. And then he does have another big speech. I did not write it all down, but he did say, like, if you tried, you could shine brighter than the fucking sun. Instead, you've chosen to sit back and wither. And that's like before she's leaving, and I'm like, that hurt. That hurt.
That scene was hard because you're just like, oh, make up, be better, but that's not how it ended.
No, like just stay with him.
Yeah.
Don't go back. But she does go back. Boo. And it's not cute.
It's not cute. It's not comfortable. No.
She goes to run and hug Midas.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, you're dirty. Don't hug me.
Oh, you're stinky.
Like, she's just been like waiting for this reunion.
Yeah.
I said, oh god, Oren. Like, oh, I realized how dirty I was and how clean I'm just like, ew.
Oh.
I feel like I want to eye roll and get mad at every single line at this part because he just sounds like a little child man.
He truly is.
Yeah. And then just try to like manipulate her more. I think, yeah, it goes, and then, but if you didn't betray me, then prove it. Get in the cage. I'm like, really? We just try to like trick her to get in the stupid. I'm really angry. I really hate this part.
She doesn't really take it though. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I think especially as soon as she sees that he's had this other girl in the cage, and I think flashes back to what like Osric said about her being a symbol.
Yeah.
And sees, oh, I'm just a symbol. You just have me replaced by this other golden girl in here. Just really realizing like, no, I cannot go back to that. And then it just, obviously everything explodes. But Midas just sucks.
The only thing we get a seed about is Carnith Village.
Oh.
So Midas threatens her. We don't know what it means, but he just says, as a way to manipulate her, remember Carnith Village, I'm keeping you safe.
Yes.
And we do get the stolen magic confirmed here.
Yes, he does. He goes, he's like, oh, you're probably exhausted from that tantrum you just pulled or something. And says, I love you, but I don't need your forgiveness, just your power.
So we learn that Midas doesn't have power, it's Oren with the power. And it's not that she just got it from him. From being gold touched? No, she's just gold touched and she has the power and he's just using her. He has nothing.
Got nothing. Oh, that would have like he's just infuriating that entire time and then just be like, oh, but
you're just like, turn him to gold.
Right? Like just kill him. He's the worst.
Yeah, it's
but she did stand up for herself.
She did.
She did accidentally kill someone, which sucks, but
yeah.
I do, where she's just like, I can't live like this. I'm not doing, like, good for you. You don't get back in that cage.
And then we get Rip,
Another
who comes to visit her.
Oh my god.
And we get the reveal. We get the reveal that made me like, oh my god, I need to finish this series. This is like taking such a roller coastery trajectory turn. I cannot get off this ride.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when this happened, I was just like, I'm so happy that I was not reading this book as they were coming out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But you know what? I did do the thing where I was like, I'm waiting to get the next book in the mail, right? Which is, I know is not the same as like waiting for the book to be
written.
I
did it with this too, because for some reason the third one, I
couldn't get it, and then I bought it on Kindle, and then it's just like, well, I finished the book before that. I couldn't wait. Too,
I literally didn't have, this is what made me buy a Kindle.
Oh.
Because I probably had yours.
Oh, I remember
maybe,
that.
And I was like, okay, well, I need the third book, and then it wasn't any of the bookstores.
Because I didn't have the third book. I had the first two, and the third book was taking too long, and then I just canceled it, and then I was just like, whatever. So then that kind of screwed you over because I didn't have it.
Because then I was like, well, I can't just end here.
Yeah, no, you got to keep going.
And then I still ordered the book. I have all of them, but
yes,
I was
eventually.
Like, no, it's taking too long. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I went, and I think it was like 7:30 at night to Best Buy. Well, I guess I'm buying a Kindle because I
oh my god, it's so funny
to read this book.
Jamie just 7:30 at night in Best Buy, like,
give me a goddamn Kindle.
Give me it. I don't care what it costs.
Literally, just need a Kindle. I need to know what happens next. But yes, I totally forgot. This was totally what made me buy a Kindle because I was like, I can't stop here.
Thanks, Raven Kennedy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rip is King Ravenger.
Which, what?
And he says, yes, Goldfinch, but you can call me Slade. We get his real name. Yes. So we get his name. He has 3 names now.
Yeah. I mean, I like them all. I like Rip and I like Slade.
Yeah.
King Ravenger. But I feel like they're almost like his different personalities.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But then, she gives a description of his changing and what he looks like. And then also at the same time, like, oh my god, why didn't I realize that?
Yep.
Because she's like, yeah, you can, like, see, obviously you can see it.
Yeah.
But just what a good
twist.
Yeah. And I was just like, what do you mean?
I love it.
And he just walked into her room after Midas, like, just, oh, what a great ending. Casting call. It's casting call time.
Casting call. We again have 5 people today.
Oh,
we're not gonna have 5 people every time, but it's just like these first few books we get introduced to a lot of people, right?
Yes.
Oh, we have such a good lineup today. Can we start with Lou?
Yes.
Lou, my girl, who I will marry one day.
You go first.
Okay. So, do you know who Michaela Cole is? You've probably seen her.
Oh, yes, that I May Destroy You.
I May Destroy You.
Yeah.
Chewing Gum, Black Panther. She was in a Black Mirror episode.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good choice.
So, and she is like those shows, she's like writer and like creator in them. So she's like funny and charismatic, and I think she is a good fit for Lou, and also her look, because from what I've seen in pictures, she has like the short hair. Yeah, I liked her for it.
I like that. I like that better than what I have.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I have Zoe Saldana now, or Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart. Interesting.
Right? I know that was like, and it's not really what people. Description.
She's so tiny.
But have you seen her in Charlie's Angels?
Well, it's a lot of effects.
No, she's kind of just like this. She's tiny, but she's like badass and kind of like sarcastic, funny.
No, I'm not mad at it. I like her. I think she's got the attitude.
Right?
Yeah.
But I like yours.
Let's do Hojat. And this one was like, I don't know if we're gonna cast him or not,
Yeah.
but it was just like, well, why not?
If like Toby Jones.
Who the hell is Toby Jones?
You'll like he's in tons of stuff,
Oh,
right? Like he's just randomly in like lots of different things.
okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of pictured him like that. Oh, he's in Harry Potter as someone too, but I can't remember who. Oh, he's Captain America. Yeah, he's in lots.
Like I always like the side character.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's different. Mine is Stanley Tucci.
Well, that's a great choice.
Look, I know it's below Stanley to be that much of a side character, but I think he'd be good at it.
Yeah, he would be really good at it. Oh, yeah.
I want him to give me his weird ointments.
Love him as that.
Yeah.
He would be so good at that. He does do random side characters
He
a lot,
does.
though. He does them so
'Cause,
well.
You know, he wants to be home with his family, so he'll just do random jobs. And look, I'm for it because I want more cooking videos. I want more drink videos,
That's
Stanley.
right.
So, balance your time. Osric? Osric?
I say Osric.
Yeah, Osric.
Okay.
Yeah.
Torn between my men, Dave Bautista,
Uh-huh.
or Jason Momoa.
Okay. That's the type, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what we're going for. And
Yeah.
I think I was in the same headspace. I was just trying to find someone who is not them because I think they are the obvious choice.
Yes.
For sure.
I really wanted to do Dave a bit better as well.
You know what? I like Dave for it.
Yeah, right?
I think Dave is a good choice. My other choice is Alan Richson. Do you know who Alan Richson is? So he was...
He does look really familiar.
So he's just in like a recent movie called Ungentlemanly Warfare, if you've heard of it.
No, but he still looks really familiar.
The ad keeps coming up on my TV.
Oh. So that's how you cast him?
Yeah, but he was familiar anyway. And he has a show called Reacher.
Okay.
And he was in the Hunger Games as like one of the...
Yes, that's Hunger Games.
Okay, now that's how you recognize him.
Yes. No, I think like 6 months ago watched all the Hunger Games again.
There you go.
So that's why, yeah.
Now he's just super buff. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And in my search, I also learned that he was on American Idol 2004.
Oh.
So
He can sing.
he can sing.
That's exciting for him.
So I thought that was like a good, I don't know.
I like
it's
it.
hard, yeah, it's hard to find the buff men that aren't Batista and, yeah,
Momoa,
Momoa.
Hemsworth.
I did look at Hemsworth, like, nope, that's not Osric. That's...
No.
You almost like want a big man that is not conventionally good looking, right? It's like
Yes.
really rough. And
Yeah.
it's hard to find that.
Like a mix between Jason Momoa and Hagrid,
Yes.
right?
Okay. Well, okay, maybe more Momoa than Hagrid. Maybe like a quarter Hagrid.
Yes, yeah.
I'm on board with that. Judd?
David, no wait. Just kidding. That's not the one. Judd, I have Jack Harlow
Okay.
or Dax Shepard, but I like my Jack Harlow, I think, more.
I feel like Judd is like a warrior, though. You know?
They're not warriors? Dax is jacked.
No, Dax. I'm talking about Jack Harlow.
But I feel like he could kind of get that, like, he's not, when I picture him, he's not like the obvious big build, like he's smaller than the other men.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Jack Harlow could do that. And he's a really good actor.
Yeah. I like Dax, too. I think that would...
Right? And he's like also that kind of funny.
Yep. That's the type, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Mine is Trevor Donovan. Do you know who that is?
I don't know.
He was on 90210.
Like the original?
No. And Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah.
So
He's too pretty.
He is pretty, but he's also like too pretty that he's no longer attractive.
Oh.
And if he had a weird personality, it's like one of those people that's like, I think you're supposed to be attractive. But I like him. Not that I watched 90210, but I did watch him on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my god. And you liked him on that?
And I liked his personality. And he was originally my casting for a Crescent City 2 character.
Oh.
If you can guess.
Oh,
Is
God.
introduced in Crescent City 2.
No, he's in the first one. Oh. Ethan? No.
He's introduced in Crescent City too.
Not the merman. What the hell's introduced? Who?
I can't remember his name. In
Oh.
Crescent City too.
Hold it. Give me more.
Bryce's cousin.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah, but
I thought he was in 3.
No, 2.
Oh, okay.
But he's also just who I imagine while reading the book.
That's fair.
So that's it. Okay, this is a really big one. We left a really big one to last, which is...
Are we not doing Keg? Is Keg the next time?
I didn't do Keg.
Oh.
I just didn't do him.
Okay.
Do you have one for Keg?
Oh yeah, but we can do it next time.
But he doesn't continue on.
Oh, yeah, he got later, but not Keg. I want to do Keg.
Okay, just throw in Keg.
Okay. I have him as David Diggs.
Okay. Okay, your Keg is very different from my Keg.
He's also
He's cute. Yours is cute.
Yeah, he's so cute. I love him.
That's not how I picture Keg.
But he's also like, I'm really into Snowpiercer. And he's on there, and he just reminds me more of him, like on Snowpiercer. And he has more like gray beard on Snowpiercer and stuff.
Okay, that picture makes more sense.
Yeah, so I'm watching Snowpiercer a lot, and so I was like, oh, that's Keg.
I was thinking of that today. I was like, oh, we didn't do Keg. But I was like, I imagine him being like Al Roker.
What? That's how you pictured him?
I don't know why that came up in my head.
Yeah, I can kind of see that too.
Okay. Now the big one. Rip, King Ravager, Slade. Who is your man?
Nobody, because nobody can do him like just... I have someone down, but I feel like I'm still looking. It's so hard to like... But I have Theo James.
Theo James, get out of here. Get out of town.
That was like the closest to kind of what I was thinking.
Like, he could do it personality-wise, I guess, but
he's not really... I tried to find, and then there was always like something off. Like, they're just not...
You didn't consider Henry Cavill, or...
Yeah, but I didn't think I was allowed to pick Henry Cavill anymore.
I mean, you could do whatever you want.
That it would 100% be No, it actually wouldn't be Henry Cavill.
Okay, well, the search is on, I guess.
Yeah,
you can bring it up another time.
Yeah, there were some people I had. I'm like, oh, kind of. Like, no, but... Okay, but I want to know who yours is.
I told you who mine was already, but it was a long time ago. Tom Hardy.
Oh!
And I know he doesn't, like, perfectly fit because he is a little bit more... like light-haired and stuff, but I just imagine like Tom Hardy and his personality with like darker hair and beard features, you know?
Yeah, actually that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I like that. That's probably the closest one I like then.
Okay. We'll go with that for now.
Yeah. But if anyone...
Yeah,
please,
help us.
Yes. Find me the perfect Slade.
Help us. But more importantly, who's your Keg?
I also want to know that.
Yeah. And try the mulled wine.
And we didn't do MVP.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were ending. Yeah, let's do the MVP.
MVP.
You go first.
My MVP is Rip, obviously.
I mean, great choice.
When he pushes Oren, he looks good. I think we kind of said all the good things about him.
We did. Yeah, great speech, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Just really getting her to kind of come out and like realize a lot of things. And I like that he just kind of doesn't give a shit when he's not supposed to touch her and realizes nobody's helping her off the horse. Yeah. It's like, nobody's gonna fucking help her. Like, I'll get her down and do it.
Hey, dummies.
Fuck all y'all.
Yeah. He's also like a little bit mean. Like, sometimes when he was pushing her and I was like, ooh.
I know.
Stop it.
And he's like, fucking say it. I was like, okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
I want to give it to the Wrath. Is that how you pronounce it? The Wrath, right?
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like they were really good. I don't want to say wingman because that wasn't the... They weren't trying to help him get Oren, but like I just mean in terms of like supporting Rip and being kind to Oren, but really honest with her. Yeah. Not coddling her, helping her even though she is technically like the enemy. And I loved the introduction to them. And
same, I agree.
I loved them all. Yeah. I loved them all.
I love the mix of personalities that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Love it. All right. Well, toodaloo, we are going to be breaking it more down for the rest of the season here.
Yes.
Because next time we're doing Gleam Part 1.
Yeah.
More stuff is happening and we need more time.
Yes. Midas is back.
Oh. We're going to have lots of cringe moments for
so
him.
many cringe moments for him.
All right. Well, looking forward to it.
Well,
Bye.
bye.
Oh, I'm sweating.